Hey guys, Tim Kobler here. I hope everybody's well and happy. First of all, let me apologize for not being there tonight. If there was any way I could have been, I sure would have. Schedule for this September is just not going to let me do that, but I'll be with you in spirit. When Gene Linneman first called me about this event and said it was the 50th year anniversary of the state championship for Class C football that year, 1968, I couldn't believe that it had been 50 years. I never felt so old in my life. So I went and looked in the mirror. Sure enough, I'm old. Anyway, it was 50 years ago, and it just doesn't seem like it. It seems like we were just teenagers not long ago running around on the football field. And when I remember it as a teenager, just that way. So, I made a few notes here, and I'm trying to stay with that so I don't get too discombobulated. But when the memories come flooding back on those crisp Friday nights that we stood on a football field and took on whatever opponent was crazy enough to take us on, it's just fond memories. They come flooding back, and it will be something that I will have forever. As I remember it, we never lost a football game that year. We were that good. We were a good team. We were a great team. I would bet that the average point spread for our victories was somewhere between 21 and 28 points. If the margin of victory, if I'm not mistaken, that could have been more. So we were that good. I understand there's some controversy surrounding whether or not this was actually a championship, a state championship in football. I really hope that gets resolved someday, because I know as well as I sit here today that no one in Class C in 1968 in the state of Nebraska could have beaten our team. I know that down to my core, and I'll take that to the grave with me. Whether or not it's ever resolved, I know that we were the first ones to ever bring home a state championship in football to Platteview High School. Anyway, I'd like to speak a little bit to Chris Sahlberg and Neil Eichhoff, the two coaches we had that year. I want to thank them for their devotion to the team, to the kids, spending their time, spending their energy to make a bunch of ragtag kids into a pretty good football team, a great football team. You know, that energy, that time that they gave, and especially Coach Sahlberg, over the years, over and over and over, not just football, but baseball, track. I even played a little B-team basketball for him. And that continued long after I left. So his accomplishments and his devotion to the youth of that surrounding area, the Springfield surrounding area, should never be taken lightly and should never be taken for granted. I know your name is Chris Sahlberg, but to me, you'll always be Coach. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, Coach. To the guys on that team, it was from freshmen to seniors and everyone that was connected with that team. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for letting me be a part of it. It is a once-in-a-lifetime team when the personnel come together that fit to make up something special. And it was once in a lifetime, if that. If anyone gets to be that fortunate. We were, and I am proud to be a part of it. I want to thank you guys for letting me be a part of it. Those memories will always be with me, and I will always treasure them. I wish I could be there to talk with you guys, tell stories. I remember we scored touchdowns, but that's not the part that I remember. The part that I remember was sticking my helmet in somebody's chest and pushing them back for a first down, or blindsiding somebody with a block, watch their knees crumple. Those were the hits, to lower your helmet with a full head of steam and hear the crack of that helmet on helmet just reverberate across the field. Those are the things that I remember and will always remember. And I will always remember you guys and be thankful that I could have been a part of it. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for letting me be a part of it. Well, I don't have much else to say other than that. I know there's a celebration after this, so please guys celebrate wisely, but have a great celebration. And I left my name, phone number, address, and email address with Tommy. I'm going to send this off to him. You know my brother, I think most people do. So anybody that took any pictures, I would sure appreciate it if you could send it to my email. I'd love to catch up that way, see how you guys celebrated. I will be there in spirit with you tonight. And in closing, just let me say, God bless all of you, and I hope to see you next year at the reunion. If anybody has any information on that, please send it to me if you would. I'd appreciate it. Kudos to Gene Linneman and Jack Walker. They've been keeping me apprised of what's coming up for our 50th reunion and this event. So I give thanks to them too. In closing, guys, God bless you, and until next year, go Trojans.